Okay, can you see the my camera? Hindi siya naka-share screen ha, so you have to click on my profile para ma-focus nyo yung aking camera. Okay? Hindi naman babaliktad dyan sa inyo. Let me know kung nakikita nyo ha.
Nakikita po, sir.
Okay, hindi naman baliktad. Nakabaliktad
Hindi
ka.
po.
Okay, sige. So, for
Yung profile ko po,
yung picture mo yung baliktad. Okay. So, for today, since I've already discussed with you yung input, output, and then the introduction with scripts and yung M files, so let's take a deeper look on functions. And one of the key topics pagdating sa ating functions is yung mga tinatawag natin na structured programming. So, dyan na papasok yung logic, yung mga conditional statements, that kind of stuff. And that is what we're going to try to discuss within today kung if time and knowledge permits. So, kung saan lang abutin ng ating brain cells yung i-discuss natin today, hanggang dun lang muna tayo because this is a very long topic to discuss, yung 3. So, also, kung mapapansin nyo, okay, so also kung mapapansin nyo, ba't parang naglalag ako? Maybe I should close Facebook. Naglalag yung system ko. Yuhu! Ayun. So, sorry for the delays. Nagkaroon lang ng trouble sa unit. So, ayan. So, going back, so as I was saying, this is one of the key topics dun sa ating paggagawa ng functions. Almost every command that is predefined here in MATLAB always use yung mga ating decisional or yung conditional na mga commands such as yung if, yung else if, yung while, and then yung for, yung mga loops na tinatawag. So, it would be of our best interest, lalo na sa inyo, mga engineers, as you progress through this course and hanggang sa matapos nyo yung course natin, may apply nyo siya sa inyong mga major subjects. Okay? Because all of the computational work, if you have learned something from this course, mas madali na yung gawa natin pagdating ng or in the near future. So without further ado, let us begin. So according here, so the simplest of all M files perform instructions sequentially. So apparently pagdating sa structured programming, meron tayong dalawang klase. So we have here yung decisions, okay, this decisions or selection, and then meron din tayong tinatawag na loops or repetition. Now, both of this tailor different needs. So say for example, for decisions, you are being given certain different conditions. And then, kung saan magtugma yung ating input or yung ating argument, bibigyan kanya ng sequence of instructions or the function will perform a different instruction. Okay, so parang ano lang yan. If you are a high school graduate, you are given multiple courses offered. Okay, and both all of those courses offer different subjects. So ganun din yan dito sa ating structural as a decision flow. So this is the branching of flow based on a decision that the user makes. Yung loops naman, so this is the looping of flow to allow statements to be repeated. So this one is kind of a tricky one to do, pero do not be afraid because I will be in every step of the way for you to understand loops. Okay, so without further ado, punta tayo sa decisions. So sa decisions, so we have yung first structure natin which is yung if. Okay, so this structure allows you to execute a set of statements if a logical condition is true. So its general syntax is if, and then yung condition, and then if that is true, what are the instructions that you would like to do? And then after that, end. Okay, so let's take an example. So say for example, if x is equal to 5, if x is equal to 5, then ano yung gusto mong ipagawa sa kanya? So say for example, I just want to display something. So display like congratulations, parang ganun. Oh, congrats. Like so. And then you will end it. Okay, so what does this structure mean? So it means that if you enter or if you declare a variable which is x and the value of that x is equal to 5, no, ang i-display niya is yung congrats. If not, walang mangyayari. So end agad yan. So if sabihin natin x is equal to 4, nothing will happen. Okay, so sabi dito, where condition is a logical expression. Okay, logical expression that contains a logical operator. Okay, so lagi na yan, pag may logical expression, lagi dyan may logical operator. Logical operator. Yung mga equal, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal, and yung iba. Okay? So for example, here's an M file to evaluate whether a grade is passing. Okay, so we have here a function. This is the name, grader, and yung grade. And then dun sa baba, if the grade is greater than or equal to 60, then display pass. Okay, so if I tried to do that in MATLAB, so sige, try natin yan sa MATLAB. So in here, okay, so maybe I could declare grade is equal to 49. And then if grade natin is greater than or equal to 60, then not then, ko siya nako-confuse ko ang, okay, so then, yung statement? So, display pass, and then end. Okay, yan lang. Okay, so, and if I press enter, walang lalabas. Why do you think? Bakit walang lalabas na, walang lalabas? That is because hindi totoo yung statement. As you can see, yung grade ko is 49. And then, sabi nga, nung condition is if yung grade is greater than or equal to 60, so it will display pass. Kaso, hindi naman siya 49. 49 is not equal to 49 is not greater than or equal to 60. So that's why nothing happened. Okay? Maybe I could do that again. So grade is equal to 70. Siguro gawin natin 70. And then lagay natin if yung grade is greater than or equal to 60, then what is the statement? Anong gagawin? So display pass, and then end. Enter. So ang i-display niya is pass because that is true. Okay, so let me do that again, but this time gawin natin ulit yung 49. 49, enter. Nothing will happen because the statement or the value is not true. Okay, any questions so far, guys? Malinaw naman. Okay, so that only holds or that is only true, or that can only be applicable for one condition only. So, kung hindi totoo yung statement or yung condition na in-state natin, so MATLAB will not do any or will do nothing. Okay, so yun lang yung downside. So, so far, pwede rin naman natin gawin na single line siya like this one for efficiency, katulad ng ginawa ko kanina. Okay, so for Octave users, I think this is applicable as well. Okay, so what if naman gusto kong i-try yung, or by the way, so this is the logical operators applicable in MATLAB. So we have yung equals. So we also have here yung not equal. And then this is less than. So may correction pala yan. This is this one. So ganyan yan. And then yung greater than natin is like this. Okay? So ganyan tayo gagamit ng mga operators. Okay? So na lang, kindly make the corresponding corrections. Okay, so in order for us to understand this further, let's have an example. Okay, let's have an example. Ayusin ko lang ni. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so in here, so we have here another problem, but this one is different than yung if lang na ginamit natin. So we are going to use if else dito. Okay, so the structure of if else is the same. Yung syntax ng if else is the same as if. Pero may dinagdag lang tayo na isang condition when the first condition is not true. Okay, so parang ano siya, kung hindi totoo, then ano yung dapat na gagawin? Okay? So here's the problem. So the problem, this problem will convert any given value of radians or degrees. Okay, so write a script name degrad that will, number 1, prompt the user for an angle. Then number 2, after entering the angle, it will ask whether it is in radians or in degrees, with radians as the default. Okay, so if the user enters D, the sign D function will be used, and sign when otherwise. So we will be using fprintf to print the result. Okay? So let us try to strategize first kung ano yung dapat nating gawin. Okay? So in here, so lahat naman siguro nakikita dyan. So of course, function with degrad. So that is degrad. And since hindi kailangan na mag-execute, sabi kasi is write a script. So dapat yan lang yung hindi ko na kailangan ng parang argument like x or alpha. Hindi ko na kailangan yan. Okay, so as is lang yan. Okay, function degrad. So I don't want to worry about the help comments first. So proceed tayo dun sa procedure. Okay, so sabi daw is hihingian tayo ng angle. So maybe I could add here angle is equal to yung input. Kasi hihingian tayo ng value. Pag in-execute natin yung degrad, may lalabas na ganyan. So enter a value of enter an angle. An input for angle. Angle, like so. Close. Then, next is, hihingi tayo ng prompt. So, prompt. Diba kasi, sabi dun kanina is, prompt the user whether it is in radians or degrees, with radians as the default. Okay, so prompt, input. So, hihingian tayo whether it is in R or degrees. Okay, so here in the input, it will ask, is your angle in radians or in degrees? Degrees. So, ganun lang. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Dapat single quote lang yan. Okay, single quote. Alright. And then, finally, yung nandito na yung ating if. So, if prompt, no, kailangan nating i-check muna kung ano ba yung answer niya dun sa prompt. Okay, so kung ang answer niya is R, ano yung gagawin niya? Gagawin niya is yung radians. If degrees yung sinabi niya or yung degrees yung in-input ng user, we are going to use sign D. So, as simple as that. Okay, so if yung prompt is equal to not equals. So, is equal. So, double equals yan. Double equals y. Not y, sorry. Degrees. So, ano yung papagawa natin sa kanya? Therefore, angle. Maybe I could use display or fprintf na lang. Fprintf ba? Or maybe I could put degrees. Sine deg. Or deg na lang siguro. So, degrees is equal to the sine d of angle. Ano lang. Sine degree of angle. Suppress that. And then dun sa baba, we have fprintf. Then yung quote. Tama ba? So, yung format muna siguro. Okay, so, hindi. The value of sine, and then lagay natin dito yung number. Okay, so always take note na pag gumagamit tayo ng fprintf, dito natin ilalagay yung ating a percent character represents the value that you're going to put it in. Okay, so pag may percent dyan mo ilalagay yung value. Okay, so sine, ano ba? So this is in digits, decimal places, maybe 2 decimal places, so .2. Okay, value of sine, yep. Then close. Okay, is equal to 2. And then comma, I put here my degrees. Okay, maybe I could... no, this is just one line. So, sige, pwede ko na sigurong tanggalin yung fprintf and use display instead. Okay, display. And then, sabi is the value of sine d, and then maybe I could put it in a matrix instead para mas efficient. The value of sine d, and then yung angle, so space angle, and of course don't forget we need to convert that into string for this to work. So num to string and to str, and then space again, open another quote, then close, space is, then colon space, and then another matrix or another value which is yung degrees. But of course, we need to convert that into string as well. So, degrees. Okay. So, tama naman. Close. Close. Then else. So, pag naglalagay tayo ng else, ang nangyayari is hinihingian pa natin siya ng isang action if yung prompt natin displays R. So, this only holds pag ang answer natin dun sa prompt is D. So, paano naman pag R? Okay, so pag R naman, ang ilagay natin is rad is equal to sine of angle. Okay. So, here, enter, and then yung display natin. So, gayahin lang natin to. Oops. So, the value of sine, then number to string nung angle is number to string nung rad. Okay, and then end. Nagets nyo kung paano ko siya ginawa? Hindi naman ba tayo nagugulumihanan or parang namimisteryuhan kung paano tayo nag-arrive sa ganyan na code? So I think silence means yes. Okay, sige. Proceed tayo dito sa MATLAB. And let's do the code. Okay, so here in MATLAB, just clear things up. Then gayahin lang natin yung nandun sa. So function. So this is for octave. So siguro gawin natin. Hindi pwede. Hindi pwedeng MATLAB. So new and then function. And then I type here digrad. So saka na natin i-worry yan. So ang kailangan muna natin is step number 1, ask for an input in the angle. So angle is equal to input colon quote, single quote, enter an input for angle. Okay, space, close, and then enter. I need also yung prompt, which is equal to input, and then is your angle in radians or in degrees? Angle in radians or degrees. Okay. Colon space, then close. And then in here, nandito na yung ating if statement. Okay, so if yung prompt natin is equal to R or D, sorry. D, then ano yung papagawa natin sa kanya? Deg is equal to sine D of angle. So press. And then nandito na yung display. Display. Then naka-matrix. So ano ngayon nandun sa, so the value of sine D is, so the value of sine D, then close that, space, num to string nung ating degrees. Okay, and then another quote, which is a close. Then the value of sine D is, then space, close, and then num to string. Num to string nung ating degrees. No. This is not degrees. This is angle, sorry. This is degrees. Degrees. And then close the matrix. Close. Now, if that is not the case, so we're going to put else, meaning that you have another input different than D. Okay, so you put here rad is equal to the sine of your angle. So press that. And then display. So copy ko na lang siguro dito. I'm just going to change this one. Instead of degrees, I'm going to use rad. Okay, save that. Then saves the documents. So this is for MATLAB. Okay, so kailangan ko i-terminate. Okay. So, as always, for those of you who are using Octave, just insert dun sa pinakababa end function. Okay? So, end function lang yan. May end ata to eh. Yeah, may end ata to. Ayun. So, kailangan palang lagyan ng end. Okay? So, let's see. Let's call degrad. So, it will ask for an angle. So, enter an input for your angle. So, let's try first yung degrees. So, maybe I could try 45 because the sign of 45 is... Let's see. What's the sign of 45? Sign of 45 is equal to 0.85. So, enter. So, is your angle in radians or degrees? That is in degrees. Enter. So, merong mali. Is your angle in radians or degrees? Prompt. So dapat naka-quote din siya. Quote, quote. Okay, so the value of sine d45 is 0.070711. Okay, so if that were different, so say for example here, degrad, if I ask for, maybe I could try 2 pi, and then the value of my angle is in radians. Enter. So the sine d is, okay, so this is in negative. Okay, so let's check if that is correct. Okay, so I'm correct. Okay, so the value of sine is 0.71 or 0.70711. So we're good. Do you have any clarifications regarding the use of if else? Hindi nyo pala nakikita dyan sa ano. Maybe I could move it up. So ayan. So that is the code. Okay, so next, proceed tayo dun sa ating material. Okay. So in here, so we have yung dalawang or yung tatlong expression na hindi kasama diyan. Okay, so meron tayong tinatawag na not. This is usually located on the upper left side of your keyboard. So yung parang wavy or tilde ang tawag diyan eh. Tilde ba ang tawag diyan? That is called as tilde in your keyboard. So this is used to perform logical negation on an expression. Okay, so like say for example, if x is equal to 5, so pag nilagyan natin yan ng tilde, x is not equal to 5. So ganyan lang yan. Okay, so if the expression is true, then the result is false. Conversely, if the expression is false, then the result is true. So what does it mean? If I declare, sabihin natin nag-declare ako ng x is equal to 5, tapos dun sa ating condition, is x is not equal to 5, okay, so ang i-return niya na expression is false. Okay, pero kung ang dineclare kong variable is x is equal to 4, and then dun sa condition ang nakalagay is x is not equal to 5, then the expression is true. The result will be true. Okay? So here we have AND. Next, yung AND. This is used to perform a logical conjunction on two expressions. Now notice that if both expressions evaluated to be true, then the result is true. If either or both expression evaluates to false, then the result is false. Like say for example, if I am happy, then she is happy, then ang result is we are both happy. No? Pero if I am happy and she is not happy, then we are both sad. Okay? Ganun lang yan. And also, if both are sad as well. Okay? So, dapat, pag may end, dapat both of the expressions or conditions should be the same. Okay? So, kung happy ako, happy siya, happy kami. Kung happy ako, hindi siya happy, sad kami. Okay? Yun yung I think that is the simplest example that I can do. Okay? So, next is OR. So, yung OR naman is used to perform a logical disjunction on two expressions. Okay? So, if either or both expressions evaluate to true, then the result is true. So, ito kabaliktaran to. Kung happy ako, tapos sad siya, then happy kami. No, ganun lang yan. Okay? And that is also applicable vice versa. Like so. Okay, so in here, so table 3.3 summarizes all the possible outcomes for each of these operators. Just as for arithmetic operations, there is a priority order for evaluating logical operations. These are from highest to lowest. So ito yung pinakamataas. So yung tilde, yung and then yung or. So in choosing between operators of equal priority, MATLAB evaluates them from left to right. Okay, so yung uunahin muna is yung logical operators. And then sunod is kung pareha sila, it will evaluate from left to right. So finally, as with arithmetic operators, parentheses can be used to override the priority order. Okay? So for us to understand this more, so let's take this example. Okay, sige, try natin to. Okay, without looking at the reference, let's try to investigate kung ano yung magiging kalalabasan niya na result. So, if A is equal to -1, sige, sulat kayo. Ako, magsusulat din ako. Okay, sulat natin sa papel yan. Then, let's try to do it by hand. Okay. So, sabi daw, let's take A. A is equal to -1. Okay. So, A is equal to -1. Wag niyo muna i-try sa MATLAB. Try natin by hand. And then B is equal to 2. Then X is equal to 1. And Y is equal to quote-unquote B. Okay, so evaluate whether the following is true. So yung statement nasa baba. So A multiplied by B is greater than 0. And yan. And B is equal to 2. And X is greater than 7 or not or not, y is greater than d. Okay? So, sige. So, in order for us to understand this, yung logical operation na to, let us try to look for yung double equals. Okay, so sabi daw, ito yung left side. So, yung left side ng double equals is yung ating first statement. Okay, and dun sa ating right, that is your second statement. Okay, here. As you can see. So, ito yan. So, dun sa double equals na yan, nandito ngayon yung dalawa nating statement. Yung parang yan yung boundary between those two. So, let us try to assess this first. Okay? So, let's try to assess that. So, we have, substitute natin yung mga values. We have negative 1 multiplied by 2. Then, that is greater than 0. And yung b natin is 2. Okay? So, in there we have, so from left to right, so that is negative 2 is greater than 0 and 2. Okay? So, here, we have, is negative 2 greater than 0? That is not true. So, that is, so ang i-return niya is, ang i-return niya is 0. No, kasi 0 for true, 0 for false, 0 for false, 1 for true. Okay? So, 0, yung ni-return niya, and then, lagay natin 2. 0 and 2. Okay? So, doon naman tayo sa kabila. So, in here we have, check muna natin to. So, 2 and x is greater than 7. So, x is 1. So, 2 and, so is x is 1 greater than 7? No. So, 0 ang ilalagay natin dyan. Then next, or not equal to y greater than d. Is y greater than d? Is b greater than d? So, the answer is no. So, ilalagay natin is 0. Okay? So, in here, 2 and 0 is not equal to 0. So, maybe this is, I think this is false or true. I think this is true. Because we have here 2 and 0. And then not equal to, not 0 or not 0. Okay, so medyo nakakalito yung nasa left side. Okay, but I think based on my intuition, since I have here 2 and 0 on the right side and we have 0 and 2 on the left side, I could say that the answer is 1. Okay, so let's check. So sabi daw, so in here we have 1 and 2. So that is negative 2. Then compare natin yan sa 0 and 2. So we have here false on the first line. That is false. And then that is true. That is false and or false. So ang lalabas is, nung lalabas na answer. So the answer should be true. Pero I'm kind of surprised na iba yung operation niya. Okay, so in here, ano ba yung nangyari dito? What exactly happened here? So, sinubstitute niya yung 1 and 2. So, naging negative 2. And then, 0 and 2. Yeah, tama. And then, equals to 2 and 1. Bakit and 1? Because, where exactly is this? So, 1 is greater than 7. Okay. and then not equal to B and D. So next in evaluate, so we have this is false. This is false. This is true. 2 is equal to 2. And then this is false. Or not, this is false. Okay, so at this point, the logical operators are now evaluated by priority order. So in here we have false or not false. So this becomes true. So this becomes not false. So magiging siyang true. As you can see here. So ayaw niya ng false. So gawin nating true. So FTF, FTF, and then or T. So we have here, and then the end operator is evaluated next. So since there are two, we use the left to right rule. So we have here F and T. So tandaan, pag sinabi nating and, dapat both are true or false. So since yung isa is different, so we display false, and then sunod naman yung false. False and false, that becomes false, and then false or true, that becomes true. Okay, so you can check that in the reference below. Hindi naman ba kayo naguguluhan? Maliwanag? Okay, so that is how the operations work. Okay, pero hindi naman tayo magaganitong ka-mess up na operations, ano? So we will be only dealing with 2 to 3 conditions max. Okay? So here's the truth table. So ano na lang natin siya, practicein na lang natin siya at your spare time. But that is not our concern at the moment. So ang concern natin ngayon is to get or to familiarize ourselves with the conditions, yung mga decision programming, decisions, and then yung loops. Okay, so next, yung if-else. So yung if natin is only one condition. So pag if, you only have one condition. Yung if-else, dadalawa yung condition natin. So pag if-else, 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 dapat dalawa ang condition natin. However, if our condition is more than 3 or more than 2, that's now the time that we're going to use if, else if. Okay, if 1, 2, 3, else if. So that is 3 or more. Okay, 3 or more conditions. So it often happens that the false option of an if-else structure is another decision. So this type of structure often occurs when we have more than 2 options for a particular problem or setting. So for such cases, a special form of decision structure, the if-else-if, has been developed. So it has a general syntax as follows. So if yung condition natin, ano yung gagawin natin? Else, magsistate tayo ng another condition, and then kung ano yung i-display niyang statement, and then hanggang sa makarating tayo sa pinakadulo, which is else. So meaning, pag dumating tayo dun sa else, yun na yung talagang pinaka last resort or yung last option. So say for example, if on a siguro sabihin natin 0 to 5 na score, where 0 is yung failing. If your score is 5, display tayo ng excellent, excellent, excellent. Tapos pagdating ng 4, very good, Oh, very good. Followed by number 3 which is 3 which is fair. Good siguro. Good. Number 210. Sabihin nating 210. Bigla akong nawara. Okay. And then next, dun sabihin natin sa 210, ang lumabas is fail. Ganun lang. Okay. So, in here, so yung first condition natin is yung pinakauna. This one. And then, yung second condition natin, so here is condition 1. Yung condition 2 natin is very good. And then, here, hanggang sa makarating tayo sa number 3. And then, dun sa else, ilalagay natin tong tatlong to. So, if yung score mo is less than or equal to 0, the answer is fail. Okay? So, let's take an example. Sige, gamitin natin tong example na to for us to understand how if-else-if works. So, here in MATLAB. Okay, so balik tayo. Gawa tayo ng bagong function. Mata ka pa, Engineer Escriba? Sod ma, iyo man. Sabi ni Sir Red. Okay, so gibot kita ng bagong function. But this time, pangalanan natin siyang score. Score, and then it will ask for a value. Like so. Okay, and then x, if na tayo. If yung x is equal to 5, x is equal to 5, okay, so f x is double equals to 5, kasi that is a condition. So f is equal to 5, x is equal to 5, then we use this. Excuse me. So display natin excellent. Close that. And then else if x is equal to 4, then we use this, which is equal to very good. Very good. And then else if x is equal to 3, which is this, oops, di ko nasara. This natin na fair. And then, siguro maglagay tayo ng error capturing. So, else if yung x natin is greater than or not equal to, tama ba? X is greater than 5. Yan. So, baka kasi maglagay ng 7 or 6 or 100, ano. So, we want to capture that as well. Is less than 0 siguro. Less than 0. Pwede ba yan? I think pwedeng ganyan. Okay. So, pwede palang ganun. Or, so or x is less than 0. Ano ba? Double. Make it double. Tama ba? So, yun. Tama. So, if x is greater than 5 or x is less than 0. Okay, so anong ilalagay natin? Display. And then, you entered a value that is greater than 5 and less than 0. Okay. Try again. O, parang ganon. Try again. And then what I want to do is declare score again. Okay, pwede bang ganon? Pwede sigurong x is equal to input, then enter a grade here. So, ano nangyari dito? What happened here is, if ever na naglagay tayo ng score dun sa taas that is greater than 5 or less than 0, it will display a prompt and at the same time, hihingian kanya ng input. Okay, so that's all there is. Okay, and then, ano ba? Or I should just declare score na lang siguro. Or maybe just exit na lang. Huwag na nating hingian ng value ulit kasi may hirapan lang tayo. Okay? And then else, so meaning hindi nagtugma dito, hindi nagtugma sa 4, hindi rin nagtugma sa 3. So for example, 2, 1, and 0. So ang ilalagay natin is this, fail. Fail. Better luck next time. Okay. So save that. Then save. And then let's try that here. So score. Sige, try muna natin yung 5. So score of 5 is excellent. Score of 4 is very good. Score of 3 is fair. And score of 2 is fail. Better luck next time. Now, try natin score of 100. You entered a value that is greater than 5 and less than 0. Try again. Okay, let's try negative 2. Oh, you entered a value that is greater than and less than 0. Okay, so this works. Okay. And to see that your code works just fine, yung lahat ng possibilities tinry na natin and lahat siya gumana, it is very rewarding. Any questions, guys? Sige, bigyan ko kayo ng konting exercise. So this is for participation lang. Sige, try natin to. So, yung mga naka-Octave dyan and then yung mga naka-MATLAB, so I encourage you to do this para hindi naman puro monologue na lang. Okay, so, try natin to. This one. Sige, grade converter. Okay, so write a function that returns a rating given a user-defined score. So, in here, pag yung grade mo is equal to 100, yung i-return mo is flat 1. If, yung next case naman natin is if yung score mo is greater than or equal to 96, pero hindi siya nasa 100 ha, the grade is 1.25. So meaning if 99, ang ibabalik niya is 1.25 na. If 99.9, 1.25 pa rin. Hanggang 96 yan. Okay, so next we have 93. So from 95, 95.9 hanggang 93, ang ire-reflect niya is 1.5 and then hanggang sa dumating sa 3. Okay, so yung 3 natin is 75. 75 to 77.9. So 3 na ang reflect niyan. And if yung sabihin natin nag-enter ako ng 74.9 pababa, so that is fail. Okay, maliwanag ba yun, guys? So I will be posting it under a Google Classroom. Post natin yan sa Google Classroom para may konting involvement tayo. Okay, so for this one, you have 30 minutes to do this. 30 minutes. Kaya nyo ba 30 minutes? Ay, natataho ba na ang kamukha ko? Maybe I could put it on the other side. Yan. Okay, maybe I could also put yung input ko dun sa MATLAB. So, sige. Bigyan ko siguro ng ayan. So, that is my input dun sa MATLAB. Try natin i-zoom in para mas makita. So, ayan.
Sir Dea,
Yes po.
magdi-disconnect po muna ako. Ayusin kasi yung router namin.
Sige po, go ahead.
Okay po. Thank you.
Sige na. Okay, so balik ko lang dun sa board. Ayan. So, using if-else-if, write a function that returns a rating given a user-defined score. Okay, so there are how many cases here? So, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, meron akong 9. And then, yung pang 10 ko is yung else. Okay, so meaning if all of those did not match up to our value, so magre-return siya nung sa else natin na situation. Okay. So, kung if you're ready, so maybe I could, so siguro mga 10:15, 11:15 ko hihingin nyo inyong input. Okay? So, I'll wait till 11:15. So, yung Discord channel natin remains open. So, magtulong-tulungan kayo in order to come up with the answer. Okay? So, the timer starts now. Good luck!